Hey, Robert Scoble. It's Scott Jordan, CEO of SCOTTeVEST and Technology-Enabled Clothing. I really appreciate you bringing these issues to bear. A lot of people don't know this, but we have been the leaders. In fact, we own the registered trade name, Technology-Enabled Clothing, for over 13 years. We've been thinking about these issues longer than anyone, including Apple and Samsung. We have a pretty specific thought and view on how we believe wearables are really going and should evolve. And we think a lot of the things that are happening now are actually going down the wrong path. We view clothing primarily as the beige box for your electronic devices. I do not believe personally that it is a good path to try to develop electronic devices into clothing. It's just you want to upgrade your clothing yearly for fashion. You need to wash your clothing. You don't want to have to spend a great deal of money on a variety of clothing items, and when you change a shirt, you don't want to have to change it. Now, it doesn't mean that there isn't a time and place for this, especially for industrial and military uses to put sensors in clothing, but I believe that the proper direction is to incorporate devices and create a user interface that makes it comfortable to wear your devices, and that's what we're doing. And a couple things, if you've watched the CES video on Tech 2.0, where we see some opportunities for this in the future, including some things integrated into clothing, but there are a lot of things that are on our drawing board and some things that we're doing now. Firstly, our clothing, as many people know, is designed to hold a multitude of electronic devices. This is the newest jacket, just came out. It's the Alpha jacket. It was actually designed with concealed carry in mind for weapons and the like, but also for electronic devices. We have a patent on the incorporation of wires in clothing for headphones and, most importantly, power. Power is something people are ignoring with all these electronic devices, your Google Glass. Everything relies on power, and unless you can go at least 18 hours without having to find a plug constantly, you've got problems. So what we've designed is a method where you can put a device in here, wire it up through the patented personal area network to a dedicated battery in another pocket, and always be charging. And that battery can be configured again through the personal area network to reach around the back to another pocket. So you always have that power. One thing that we're already designing, and this jacket is the first of which to come out, is dedicated RFID pockets to protect your electronic information on all your credit cards and your passports. We're also going to be coming out with pockets, we haven't developed the name yet, but called the Lost Pocket, go off-grid, so you can really get privacy by putting your device into a pocket, and it will block all electronic transmission, so no one will know where you are, what you're doing, who you're with, including the NSA. There are a number of blue sky ideas that we're working on too. Because batteries are increasingly, always have been, the most important thing, the limiting factor, if you will. We're working on designs with flexible batteries along the edge of a jacket, for example, and other places that will, and the importance is that the technology doesn't fully exist yet, as I understand it, but the basis of the technology does. You can create flexible batteries, you can create kinetic batteries, but the technology isn't there to do it commercially yet. But so that every time you walk, you're creating power, and that power can be used to recharge another battery in your jacket, which will recharge your devices as well. Another idea that we've just come up with, which is patent pending, by the way, is to utilize, in effect, your zipper as an extension of your antenna on your phone. So if you can envision this, you've got your phone in this pocket, and it Bluetooth connects to your zipper, and your zipper extends the antenna range of all of your devices, including Wi-Fi. I don't know if you've experienced this or not, but I can measure the Wi-Fi signal from my phone compared to a laptop, and there is no way they are the same. The phone's Wi-Fi is much less than the laptop. There's a tremendous amount of other things that we're working on as well. Removable parts of an arm, that would enable you to put a device here, see it, and interact with it in this fashion, but make it removable. So that it is not just always integrated into the jacket. I know Zegna just introduced a jacket. I think it's called the Icon jacket. It's like $1,200, and what it does is has just simply a Bluetooth microphone and headsets. I'm not sure people want to pay $1,200 for a jacket to do that. However, I do believe that there are ways that you can easily and less expensively integrate speakers into a jacket, as well as microphones. And you see the Tech 2.0 example. It's easy to do that. One of the things we're contemplating, Robert, and I'm sure you can appreciate, I know I'm getting long-winded now, I hope you're still listening as well as all the people that are watching this. When we first started SCOTTeVEST, it was done as a proof of concept. The real idea was technology-enabled clothing. I was not a fashion designer before I started. I was a gadget guy, passionate about having my electronic devices with me at all times and usable. And we're thinking about what happened was the SCOTTeVEST became wildly successful, and we sort of put technology-enabled clothing aside. We believe the time is right. We were kind of 13 years ahead of our time to let SCOTTeVEST run for itself successfully. I'm having a blast doing it, but bring technology-enabled clothing to the forefront. I think we could get funding immediately on the basis of what we've accomplished thus far and the partnerships that we have and the patents that we have as well. A lot of the concepts that we have in terms of the personal area network, pocket configurations, and the like are patented or patent pending. And we do understand more about how people interact, how people want to interact with their clothing than anyone else. I'll end with this thought. You might have seen a few years ago all these people coming out with remotes on clothing to control their iPhone and iPod. All those failed. A company called Kempo and others, they failed miserably. No one needs a remote control to control a device that's in this pocket. It's kind of silly. So, it's just, everyone's enamored with this thought of wearable computing, but no one really fully understands where it is. I know you're a big fan of Google Glass, and we have some very specific thoughts on that. I think it's great. It's the right direction. Generally speaking, wrong form factor. I think it's ugly. I don't think people will fully embrace it over time, but yet there are ways to do it in existing form factors that won't look as geeky as those, and most importantly, will also provide. I don't know if I have an example here. Look at it's called Parrot Head. They're sunglasses with built-in camera. You could take that form factor, incorporate a screen in the corner, and no one will know that you're wearing it in that fashion. And it has much more room for batteries as well. In any event, I know a lot about this. I appreciate the post. Keep coming at me with more ideas. I know people might look at us as SCOTTeVEST, but we're first and foremost technology-enabled clothing, the leaders in wearable computing. Thanks, Robert.